So first, I want to start with saying how great of a job you did with this movie. I've nothing but positive things to say. Congrats, just congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I have to just jump backwards for a second and say that Watchmen was the best thing of that year. And I also just want to say real quick how impressed I was with your work with Damon on that series, because it's effing awesome. Okay, now that I've done complimenting you, and I normally don't do this, but I just really have to. I am curious if you could talk a little bit about if you maybe reached out, because this is your first time doing a feature like this. Did you reach out to any like director friends for any sort of advice prior to filming? Or were you sort of like taking notes this whole time, like, I got this?
I'm always taking notes along the way. I'm always reaching out to my director friends, always. Even with any of the TV work that I've done, I've been lucky enough to have established really great rapport with directors that I've worked with and ones that I want to work with that have been very supportive and very open to just share their experiences. Because so often you can learn about what not to do from someone else sharing what didn't work for them. So yeah, definitely I'm always reaching out to my director peers.
The film takes place in '64, but it's as relevant today as it was back then. And this is sort of a more serious question, but I am curious, do you feel like in the last year, with everything that's happened with the Black Lives Movement and with what feels like, God willing, like a turning point, do you feel like change is on the horizon, like real change, or do you feel like it's still going to be a struggle for decades to come?
I think that it's still going to be a struggle, but I do feel like we are going to. It's interesting because when you just talk about history, when you in '64 there were these powder keg moments that were happening in '63, in '64, '62 that that were really that made these conversations as raw as they were because they had just happened. So you can probably cite many moments of that like that in history, in our American history that are surrounded around race and marginalization. So I truly feel like, especially with the events that just took place this past week, while they were horrific, while they were saddening, they weren't really surprising to me. But I do feel like some people still are gonna we're gonna need to continue telling these stories. We're gonna need to continue to report on these moments that are happening in the world, because that's the only way that true change is going to happen. And I think one of the differences today that didn't exist in '64 is that there are more people in the country, first of all, but we are not as scared to be vocal about the evidence that history has shown us. And so I feel like it's going to be still a struggle, but I feel like I will see some transformation in my lifetime. True transformation.
I really want that to happen. I know that as more and more people see this film, you are going to be offered many other films to direct because your work on this is tremendous. Can you sort of talk about what you maybe are looking to do in the future? Do you want to tackle more socially relevant films, or are you actually looking to maybe do a romantic comedy?
I think a little bit of both, definitely. Again, like I said, when I was speaking about because I just want to make clear when I said that, people are not as scared to be vocal now. I really mean that in all you hear us talk about white people in the struggle as allies. I feel like a lot of white people have not felt comfortable enough to be vocal about how they feel, and as well as Black people have in the past. So bringing that to your next question, because of that, I feel like seeing me be able to direct a comedy starring a white cast is an example of seeing that change actively happening. And that's going to happen with people that are not that have stories that are not Black stories, if you will, feeling confident enough to say, I want Regina to direct it. I think we're moving into a space where more of that is happening. You're seeing that like with Dee Rees and her last film, and Ava's film Wrinkle in Time. And, we're starting to see more of that, maybe small, but it is happening. And I want to do it all. I want to tell good stories. I want to make you laugh. I want to make you cry. I want to make you pissed. I want you to feel all the emotions.
Listen, I already got to go. I'm just going to say again, I thought you did such a tremendous job with this, and I really wish you nothing but the best.
Received. Thank you so much, and good luck. Good luck in everything.
And have fun walking the dog.
Yeah.